We are doing a giveaway right now. It ends December 15th. We're doing Black Friday right now. It's the biggest discount, biggest entries we've ever done. Right now, you buy a hoodie, sweatshirt, hat, you get 50 bonus entries for every dollar spent. It's the biggest one we've ever done. We just dropped new merch. The dope sweater, it's my favorite sweater. It's soft as hell. This camo dry fast sweater. We got freaking the short sleeve hoodies I always wear. We got the baseball tees on there. Obviously, that's motivated by my son. We got the stress piston hat. We got jackets now. We got sweats, New Era hats, camo. We got the freaking, what do you call that? Like the tree camo. Yeah, we're doing it right now. That goes through Cyber Monday. So get on it right freaking now. Win a Mustang, Dark Horse, 1 of 1, Roush Launch Kit Edition, Supercharger, over 820 horsepower, carbon fiber all over that damn thing from Anderson Composites, boreless stainless steel exhaust, custom interior. This thing's truly 1 of 1. It's at my house right now. I drive a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a beast. And whoever wins, I'm gonna drop it off for Christmas. So win it for your dad, brother, aunt, your gay uncle who's always wanted a hot rod. This would do it. Make somebody's Christmas or make your Christmas. My thick ass can drop it off dressed as Santa Claus. That's what we're doing. DriveFastAllGas.com. Black Friday sales going on right freaking now. Get you some. If you're the UFC, what would you do with Conor?
I think in this case, to your point about the UFC being the right people in terms of PR and getting this to kind of blow over with time. I mean, Dana slapped his wife on TV and he
wasn't a thing.
Wasn't a thing. It's all good.
Good
So I think time would help with this. I think if there's a huge Netflix deal and Conor's at the crux of that and they need Conor to fight, I think they could get him back. You give it but this is even more time out of the octagon, more time with all these distractions, more time not focusing on fighting. Coming off the leg break still, that's still a huge thing.
Did you see Conor at all during the trial? It took its toll on him.
Yeah.
Like he was like physically, you can see like taking a toll on him. So he's dealing with that. I mean, look at his face there. Do you think that guy looks like he's ready to get in the octagon?
Yeah.
Look at him.
I think, could we see him back in the octagon? Yes. I personally...
Let me ask you this, because you and I love Conor. Do you want to see him back?
That's what I was going to say. I do not.
I don't. I don't.
Wow.
I think it'd be like a Mike Tyson situation where you're like, oh, no. Because I'm different than a lot of people where I like to remember fighters at their very best, at their peak.
And it's never going to get better for Conor. Like,
it will never get better. It might get your rocks off. It might check the box for you because you love Conor and all that, and and the momentum. But no matter what happens, you're gonna be disappointed. He doesn't move like he used to. The aura is not there anymore. He's not fighting to feed his children anymore. All that's gone. You're getting a watered down version. And it's Conor McGregor. I'm sure he's still dangerous, still a monster inside the octagon. But if Conor was a 10 less, if Conor in his peak was a fucking 11, and his last fight when he fought Dustin Poirier, he was a 7. After all this, you're probably getting a version that's in the 3 to 4s, and I don't want to see that. But even if he did, I would watch it, of course, just like the rest of you. But
go for it.
He has such a long rap sheet when it says like outside the octagon issues. It's like, yeah, his last win was in 2020. I said 2016, and that's disrespectful.
But so you guys are saying, you're both saying that you guys wouldn't want to watch him fight?
No, not after all this and some of the stuff I've heard about his training and just no.
But I think so. As far as business,
like another loss is fuck, dude.
But no,
yeah,
for
I
business,
can't handle another loss.
I know as fans, you don't want to see him be like not, as good as he was. But as far as viewership, after all this, as sad as fucked up as it is, I think for viewership,
huge.
If he comes back, right, and then
huge.
Let's say they land on Netflix, that they can spin it as like he was never criminally charged, or criminally guilty.
The UFC can paint it like as UFC's bad boy.
Yeah, or something like that, and it would be probably the biggest numbers ever when he comes back.
Yeah, if it was live, like this Tyson
and on Netflix
Paul,
too. Like, come on.
If it was, let's say 2025 December, live on Netflix, Conor versus Chandler,
Or something, yeah.
massive. And that's the problem. That's the fucking problem. That's the problem. Netflix is like, yeah, what's going to get us numbers? Oh, man, you might want to lay low on this one for a little bit. But again, if you're the UFC, I don't know what it's like in their contracts. And if Conor wants to fight, I think he has 1 or 2 fights left on his contract. They have to offer him a fight. They have to. So I don't know.
It's ultimately up to him.
It's heavy, huh?
Yeah.
Especially for you guys, since you're Conor dick riders.
Yeah, but again, if you're in the Conor business, like there's been rumblings nonstop, dude. Like for years and years and years, and eventually if you're playing those dark arts, something's gonna stick. Something is gonna pop up and rear its ugly head. If you're living that life like he's been living, eventually, I don't care who you are. If you're a bank robber, you might get away with it 3-4 times. Eventually, you're gonna get caught. Now, you might not go to prison, you might not get shot, but you're going to suffer some repercussions. And hopefully, if this doesn't do it, then Conor's fucked. If this doesn't get him on the right path to be a good father and a good husband, nothing will. Mm-hmm. If going and standing on trial for rape doesn't force you to get your act together, there is no hope for Conor McGregor. Whether you're guilty or not, whether they find you guilty or not, whether you're guilty of assault, rape, whatever they're gonna find you, whatever he's gonna, appeal this, whatever the end of the verdict is, whatever it is, even if in the retrial or whatever in the what word am I looking for?
Appeal?
Even the appeal, whatever they decide. If it's pro Conor or anti Conor, it shouldn't matter. If that doesn't scare you enough to get your shit together, stop doing cocaine. Nothing good has ever come from cocaine except for cars in the 80s and 70s, really.
And it feels amazing when you're on it.
I'm sure. But outside that, nothing good comes from it.
Nope.
Conor staying up in 2018, staying up for 3 nights, nothing good comes from that.
Yeah. This makes me think about John Jones. Like, you know how we really hated John Jones after?
You hated John Jones.
Okay, fine.
I've never hated John Jones.
When he
beat his wife.
Yes. And his kid had to
tough.
go to that. So that was like.
Okay, I hate him then. I'll give you that.
So at that time, but then, dude, his turnaround, he had so many things that happened, but his turnaround right now, he's so beloved right now, again. And he won me over again now, too. Like, Conor can do it without a doubt. Like,
well, you're assuming John got his shit together.
In his
personal life, we don't know.
So far.
Well, you haven't heard anything.
Public eye. Just say public eye.
In the public eye, yeah, sure. Public eye. But people also have short-term memory, especially this day and age of social media.
I know.
That's him being his wife was news for a week.
It was horrific, but yeah.
Horrific.
But the fact that I'm like getting back into
Then you watch him throw a spinning heel kick, you're like, oh, dude, I love this guy.
And the way he treats people in public is awesome. So I don't know.
But he's always been nice in public. Always. He's a great guy with the fans. The best. He's always been that guy. But then there's this other dark side,
But yeah,
and those are the guys that sell pay-per-views. That's what's wrong with the fucking world. Those are guys that sell pay-per-view. Because also, to be that talented, and fight grown men in a steel cage and underwear, you got to be a little bit batshit crazy. Because, I posted this on my Instagram, what an outlier John is. Mm-hmm. To be an outlier amongst outliers, you have to be fucking crazy. You got to think different. We're already all crazy just to get to the UFC. I'm crazy. I got my own demons. God, do I. And it's tough for people to deal with. Very tough. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my dad, my brother, you guys. Like, I'm tough, dude. I'm a tough cookie to handle, but I'm not as crazy as most guys. I have my shit together, sort of, a lot of these guys don't, and people gravitate towards that this dark side of Conor, this dark knight, the Joker, the Notorious, that dark side that gets pay-per-views. Netflix knows this, UFC knows this. Thing about the UFC just kept running when he's throwing that dolly over and over. That was the main thing. When John and DC fought at a press conference and people got hurt, innocent people got hurt. They played that over and over. The interview where he's like, I would kill you. When John Jones was talking to DC and they thought they weren't being recorded, he goes, I would kill you.
Literally kill
you. You're like, oh my God. They play that to this day. It's the Real Housewives of UFC. And Conor's the main attraction. John Jones is his co-star. Dude, I think if you had the Real Husbands of the UFC, if you had a reality show and it was Conor, John Jones, E. Machado Gary.
That'd be dope.
War Machine.
Oh my God, no. But yeah.
Just the worst of the worst.
Get him out of jail just to do the show.
Bro, imagine the ratings on that show. I could name some other guys, but it's not public, but that'd be fun. Yeah, we live in a crazy world. End of the day, though, if Conor were to fight in end of December 2025, it would be the most watched fight of the year. And this only adds to that, the whole story. But again, I wonder if UFC, because the UFC does not need him. They don't need him. He'd be great, and I'm sure they're down to do business with him. I know Conor's made a lot of poor choices, and this is one of them. No matter what, whether he's guilty or not, like, dude, what the fuck you doing?
Wait, has the UFC ever told you, like, because you were very vocal about things you didn't like about them? Have they ever told you on the side, like, hey, dude, stop talking about this or doing this?
Nope.
Really?
But I was in Conor's level. I lost so many gigs, Like, yeah. I someone asked me this, that I was talking to a buddy who I work with at Game Bread, and he's giving me compliments about being a commentator and stuff. Like, he's like, dude, you're really good at this, and it's so much fun. He goes, UFC never asked you to do it? I'm like, no, I burned that bridge, dude. He's like, really? I'm like, yep. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because it's also one of the reasons why I've built the fan base I've have, because I was very outspoken, especially when nobody was, but I had a platform for it. So I built that fan base. And right when I started too, I had this huge chip on my shoulder going against Dana White and the Reebok deal, right? And that's kind of how I made my name. But at the same time, I made a deal with the devil where, okay, dude, you can do that, but you're never ever gonna work with them again. I worked on UFC Now. I was on Fight Pass, the first show on Fight Pass. I was the main, guy on there, analyst on there. I lost that gig. I was the main analyst for UFC on ESPN. I'd fly to Bristol. Remember, this is before, you had all the DC guys better than me, so they probably made the right choice. But they had DC and Chael. Chael does it now, and they had all that stuff. I was the guy. I'd fly out there for all the big heavyweight fights and fly to Bristol. That goes away, man. That goes away. All that goes away.
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
I think, I don't think it goes away. I think there's a chance that, Dana's getting older. He's evolving. So, and the plus, like, he commented on something you did before, right? Like not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely like an olive branch there. Like there's a way. I think it's possible. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I'm not helping
because you don't really talk. You're just being honest about all the stuff that you feel, but you're not talking.
They don't want that though.
You're not saying fuck Dana. You're not saying that kind of stuff.
No, I love Dana.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Love him, adore him. Yeah, adore him.
Yeah, I definitely think it's possible.
It's choices you make though. But again, my life's good, man. I got a great gig. I love doing this. I love Game Bread. I love Game Bread. But I bleed UFC.
Of course.
I just do. It's all I care about. Literally all I care about. Yep. I don't really watch NFL anymore. I watch college football. I watch my Buffs who fucking played terrible this past weekend. Still tied for first in the Big 12 North or Big 12. But all I care about is UFC.
It's the best.
It's the absolute best. Yeah. It's the absolute best. But yeah, I made that bet. I got to lay in it.
Everyone evolves. Everyone changes. Be positive, man.
Oh, I'm positive. But no, it's not. It's not poor Brendan. No, don't get.
No, I'm saying about the UFC opportunities. In UFC.
Yes and no. I don't know. I don't know what it would look like. Also, I was just speaking my truth too.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
So there's that.
yeah,
There's that. The other thing, that antitrust lawsuit and the settlement, that's coming through, man. A lot of guys can get a lot of money. So it's like the people who take that money will probably never work with the UFC again.
yes, the main heads, right?
Do you think if I take that money, Chin, I'd be a main head in that?
You'd be one of the most popular, I think. But I mean, you're not the head of the lawsuit.
No,
With Lee.
but I'm in cahoots with it if I
But
take the
a bunch
payment.
of yeah. But it's different. I don't know. It's different because you're not the main people that were suing them.
No.
You're just part
But
of
if I
the
take the money, it'd make news,
roster.
and that gets back to the UFC. You're talking about 6 figures. Now, if you're a Michael Bisping, a Paul Felder, a Dominic Cruz, Anderson Silva, Hall of Famers. I'm far cry from Hall of Fame. If I'm those guys, I don't take the money. Hopefully they're all set financially. I assume they are. But you wouldn't take the money. It's not worth it. It's very short-sighted. Because let's say it's whatever, 200 grand. You're making more work in the UFC, man. You don't be known as the guy who took money in a fucking lawsuit.
Yeah. That's a tough one, man.
Again, I don't work with the UFC in any capacity. I just talk about it.
Do you talk to anyone in the top guys in the UFC at all?
Nope. Me and Maynard are cool. Shelby, we're cool. Obviously Laura Sanko. Obviously one of my close friends is Joe Rogan. He's pretty
course,
big
yeah.
there. And then a bunch of the fighters. I talk to managers. I'm pretty close to a lot of the managers. Reed Harris, we adore.
Everyone loves him, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's definitely weird. It's very tempting to take the money. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.